Oh,
Jesus, can't see nothing. The camera does not pick up the fog, though. That's the only reason why I can see the road. Everybody's either too busy or asleep, except for me, though. I started driving about 4 hours ago. Actually, wrong. Yes, it was 4 hours ago because I was in that dead stop on Interstate 80. This is Interstate 39 heading northbound in northern Illinois. I haven't reached Rockford yet. I'm going to take this up to into Wisconsin and hop on Interstate 94 to where I need to go, deliver this load, drop and hook, and then head down to Iowa, pick up the load as soon as I can. I may not be able to get it today, maybe later on tonight. I won't be able to get it. And then take it to Florida. I've been long overdue to go to Florida, like I'm long overdue to go to Canada. I used to see Canada at least 3 or 4 times a year. I'd go up there at least once every 3 months. But shit, I haven't been up there coming up on 2 years. The last time I went up there was when I met Darren Dobson. And hell, that was be 2 years in October, I believe. How you doing, Ellie? I can only glance at chat. I can't read it. I guess you're the only one here so far. Everybody else must be asleep or busy or taking a nap, taking a siesta. The only reason why you can see the highway right now is because I turned the high beams on. But there's nothing out here. There's nothing but corn bean fields out here. I'm gonna make. There's gonna be a Petro that shows up. That's Rochelle. I usually stay there when I deliver to the places out here in Rochelle. It's a nice Petro. I'm gonna pull into the fuel island. I probably need to get fuel and get a coffee. Coffee. I've stopped at those other damn truck stops. Nobody had any vanilla creamer, or they didn't have any artificial sweetener. Excuse me. But I'm going to keep the headset on while I pump the fuel, though. You just won't be able to see what's going on. You'll just be able to visualize the front of the truck. But the fog is so damn thick, I can't tell what exit number is what until you get right up on it. I think the next exit is the one I'm looking for. Yeah. It's Rochelle DeCaleb. I did this out of boredom. There's nobody to talk to, nobody doing a live stream that I know of. Not so much in this area, no. Um, very little deer, if any. Mostly groundhogs and coons. That's about it. There's really not much wildlife because all's out here is a bunch of farms. Like I said, acres and acres, as far as the eye can see, is corn, soybeans. That's the majority of the state of Illinois. When you get out of the city of Chicago and not around any of the cities, it's all farmland. A lot of your best sweet corn is grown here. You got about another week. Just park alongside the road, walk into a cornfield, pull some ears off, throw in a pot of water. Oh man, the corn is excellent. You got about another week, but after that, nah, you won't be able to do it because it's starting to dry out, and the taste isn't as good either. I believe this is the exit I needed. Like I said, I can look at my camera, looking at my screen of my phone. I can see better through it than I can out my windshield because the fog is so thick. And I told the Samsung phone company, I called them and let them know, do you guys realize that your camera does not pick up fog, thick, dense fog? There's been many times where I've used it so I can see. I mean, you can pick it up now because of the green lights and that street light of the reflection. But when I get away from it, it does not pick it up. You can't even see the Petro on the other side of the highway. See, it looks dark. This is insane. Yeah, it looks dark over there, but you're going to see the lights just all of a sudden turn on. Very interesting. Burgundy, I guess that's how you pronounce your name. I can't really look at it. I'm just glancing at it for a second and happen to look out at the road. Like, there you go. Now you can see the lights, barely. But this whole area is usually lit up because of the truck stops. But you can see the reflection off the lights. It picks up the fog. You can see how thick it is. But basically, I only can see barely 10 feet in front of my hood. But when I look at my camera, I can see fairly well, a lot better than I can looking out my windshield. It's almost like driving a tank. Ouch. They really need to resurface this highway. See, this is the original highway when it was laid back in the 1940s because it's not pavement, it's concrete. That's how they made paved roads back in the day. They did it with concrete, not the pavement that we know of today, or what we call asphalt. The concrete gets all busted up and it gets really rough driving on it. Excuse me. And I ain't even drunk coffee yet. I'm got gas. Oh, I appreciate that, Ellie. I really do. I'm just want somebody to talk to. Nothing else to do except drive up to Manonowi, Wisconsin. It's like an hour east of St. Paul, Minnesota. Jesus, these pumps are ancient. Do my 30-minute break here too. because I'm going to have to get some fuel. Because there ain't many stops. Once you get in past Madison, Wisconsin, there really isn't much truck stops from there where I'm going till you damn near get into St. Cloud. Ouch. I gotta fill up the reefer unit. Let me fix this too. Since I'm here, I might as well do that. There we go. Oh wow, actually I'm a hell of a lot closer than I thought. Yeah, 286 miles. That's not bad. Yeah. Hey, Ellie. Oh, how you doing, Clarina? Wow. Hey guys, I'm still here. I'm gonna leave my headset on. You may hear the reefer unit me yakking away, but I got to get fuel, and I got to get some coffee too because I haven't had any this morning. You're gonna see me pass in front of the truck because the card reader's on this side of the truck. Makes you kind of wonder, did I go in the wrong freaking? No, this is the right way in here. Might have just installed the pumps differently. Well, I do know this. I won't be able to get DEF here. I'll probably have to stop at the TA in Madison, Wisconsin, and get DEF fluid. Here we go. Type in the truck number. Trailer number 191247. The trip number. Now I got to come back around and get my gloves. You don't ever want to touch these pump handles. You get grease, oil, fuel all over the handles, so you put gloves on. I usually keep them in the door here, but usually the card reader's on the driver's side. They put it on the passenger side. This is a very old truck stop. This thing's been around before it was a Petro. All right. Shit. There we go. All right. Anyway, yeah, I got 2 tanks, and I really don't want to fill my tanks up because I can get cheaper fuel elsewhere. So I mostly just I fill one tank, and it's usually the driver's side because the passenger side ballasts over to this one, and that's where it goes into the engine and everything else. That's why, I won't fill this side because then it just makes it easier on the truck to fill the driver's side first. If I was filling the truck, I'd be pumping both sides at the same time. It's rolling. Yeah, see, on my old phone, I couldn't do this. I walked back here near the rear of the trailer. The headset would disconnect from the phone. You wouldn't hear a thing. But with the new S23 Ultra, keeps me connected. I think it's kind of cool. I only got one person in here. Oh, well. Eventually, more people will show up, hopefully. I dropped the StreamYard link. By the time I get over there, I'll have my 60 gallons like I want. There we go. Now I got to pull forward because I got to fill the reefer tank because I'm going to be dropping this in a couple of hours. The reefer tank is what keeps the engine running on the trailer because it's refrigerated. All right. Let me see if that works. There, it worked. Cool. Yeah, this is the most unusual. Oh, I get it. Reason is I never pumped fuel this far from the building before. Ugh. Shit. Yeah, it's nice to see people join in every now and then. And that sucks. Just spilled diesel. I'm not an adult film star. Come on now. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it took 16 gallons. Yeah, my reefer tank is about the size of what you would find on a pickup truck or a van. And I'll be right back. I got to take the headset off so it don't disconnect. I have drugs in the back of my truck, Ellie. If you're still in here, I don't think anybody's in here anymore. Oh well, that's part of life. Just like the David Lee Roth song, "That's life, and I can't deny it." Ugh. That was on the Eat 'em and Smile album. I was in high school when that came out. That's life, and I can't deny it. Ugh. All right. I gotta wait 15 more minutes. Uh-huh. So tell me about your mother. I don't know if I have anybody in here or not. It shows I got one. If anybody's still in here, I'm just gonna sit around here for another 15 minutes, finish a 30-minute break, get the rest of my time back. And about 4 hours, about 4.5 hours, I'll be delivering to that Walmart up there in Wisconsin. They got a clean trailer. If not, I got to go to a Blue Beacon, which will probably be in Albert Lee. There's a TA and a Love's. They got a washout place. It's not a Blue Beacon. It's some other company that's right next to the TA. It used to be a Petro, or vice versa. I can't remember, but it's really cool. It's got a fireplace in there. It's got a this big fireplace, and it's real too. They got these big pieces of a log wood that they put in there. How you doing, Lucy? Yeah, I do this for a living, and basically, if you ever see my live streams or whatever, if I'm on somebody else's panel or whatever, I basically work all the time. I work enough to make it to where um, it would drive anybody else crazy. I even asked the question to myself to make sure I'm not crazy. Because after a while, the silence can be deafening in here. You have no one to talk to. You thought you thought I was rich. Why did you think that? um, all depends on how you want to define that. I didn't know that people thought I was rich. I didn't know anybody thought I was rich. No, I work a lot. It's just the way I was raised. Um, you work hard and provide for your family if you have one. You know, it's just the way I was raised, I guess, being a man. Just I work so much. I'm really not a troublemaker, but this job will keep people out of trouble if that's an issue with them. Modest. Well, I would like to think I was modest. You know, ever since you met me. Um, no, very sociable. Yeah, try to be. Try to be very sociable. No, just work. Just a reflection of what I learned from my father and my older brother too. You know, the older siblings are always an influence. No, I don't think. I don't think I'm modest. Man, I could be brash. It just all depends on the situation. Oh well, everybody just left, I guess. Yeah, well, I'll just sit here and wait. Somebody else will show up. Maybe want to join up in on a panel and chat with me. Just gotta wait till my truck starts moving. See how much more time I got left. Because mostly everybody's either at work or asleep, or maybe some are waking up right about now, preparing themselves for the day, and have to go in at like 6 in the morning. I got 10 more minutes, less than 10 minutes. I'm curious. The Lucy that I once knew is somebody else. Oh well, I give people the benefit of the doubt, and even if it is, maybe they're conducting themselves differently. I don't know. I wish I was a rich millionaire. Yeah, see, if I was a rich millionaire, the doctor says I just need to drive a truck around for my health reasons. Yeah, yeah. And in the meantime, I guess it could turn into a silent live stream. A lot of Panays do those. At least I'm not asleep. Not yet, anyway. I probably could park it and fall asleep for a couple hours, but nah, I got to get going. I got to get this delivered and either get near or pick up that next load and head to Florida. Going down to the Everglades. Spend the night with the Gators. But I'm going to be going through the res here in an hour and a half. My res. Even though I never lived on it, visited it many a time, got relatives on it. About 6.5 minutes. Yeah, it's a boring life, yes. Very boring. It's a very boring life. But life's a bitch unless you're rich. One of the older workers that I worked with when I was in my younger years, he said that his name was Dan O'Connor. He was the head of the dairy section of the Kroger store I worked at that time. He'd always say that life's a bitch unless you're rich. I'm guessing he is enjoying a long earned retirement. But I do know he came back what they call double dipping. You can retire, collect your pension and everything, and you're allowed at so many hours you can work, or they start deducting it from your pension. You still, even though you're only be working part-time hours, you're still going to contribute to your pension fund again, but you're collecting it. It's called double dipping. It's pretty cool. They didn't have to do that, but some of them, did it either out of greed or probably because they needed it. I know one person that retired twice and then came back. But once you retired once and you come back and you're collecting full benefits, you really don't need to work unless you want to. Gives you something to do, and you got experience doing it. Yeah, there was a few guys I knew that did that. Yeah, my brother-in-law, I think it's either this year, no later next year, he's retiring. Because he'll be able to retire with full benefits. He worked in the meat department. Knew him for years. Would have never guessed in a million years he would have became my brother-in-law. He's a good guy. And when we get to karaoke, and he's very, very good at it. He does a good Elton John. I don't think my sister says that he's good at Elvis, but I don't think I've ever heard him do Elvis. I've heard him do Elton John and Jethro Tull. Boom, 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 da 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 da. Wrestling madness and locomotive breath. Da, 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 da. He's the only man that can bring the flute in rock and roll and make it look cool. Ian Anderson, the lead singer of Jethro Tull. There are some people, when they hear that, they think that he was one of the Beverly Hillbillies. No. Yeah. No, I don't even care if the trolls show up. I don't care. Somebody show up. At least there'll be something to talk about. There'll be something to talk about. 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes, and the daylight will be peeking up over the horizon in the next hour. If it wasn't for the fog, it'd probably be peeking over right about now, but very, very thick fog here. Oh, I'm good on DEF. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not going to be boring here in a minute. A couple minutes. About a minute and a half. And then I'll be heading on down the highway again. And I won't be stopping, most likely, until I get to my destination. And hopefully everything runs smooth there. Smooth. I got till 11 o'clock tomorrow night to pick up the next load, which is good. It gives me plenty of time. Get the load and then head to Florida. It's just I'm under debate on which way to go. Because there's multiple ways to go from where I'm going to be at. I'm just thinking of which is the most efficient. Most efficient, I believe, would be to go ahead and drive the 40 or 50 miles west to I-29, which is sort of out of the direction I want to go in, and head south on Interstate 29, take it down to Kansas City. And then from there, I can go in multiple directions. I probably take 70. Take 70 to 270, which goes around St. Louis on the north side, get into Illinois, and then hop on 57 south in Effingham. That takes you through Kentucky and to Nashville, Tennessee. Well, actually, 57 takes you to southern Illinois, and I'd have to change. I'd have to get off Interstate 57 onto Interstate 24 and take that through Kentucky into Nashville, Tennessee. And the cool thing is, maybe the day after tomorrow, maybe, I'll be going through Chattanooga, which Rosalie Green lives, and she works at the McDonald's that's right off the interstate. And I could probably maybe park on the shoulder of the exit ramp, hop over the fence, walk across the street, and be right there at that Mickey D she works at. Yeah, Rosalie Green. She's great guitar player, great singer. Enjoy watching her streams. She has a good sense of humor, and she doesn't know it. All right, time's up. Hell, I went a minute over my time. That's all right. Time to head on down the highway. Get out of the fuel island. You're blocking the fuel island. The fuel island's empty. The only truck that was around me was that one that just pulled away. Believe me, if the fuel island was extremely busy, I would have pulled out and parked it and did my break. But I'm not going anywhere. I finished up my break. Now I'm heading on down the highway. Now it's a total empty fuel island. It just comes a matter of what you would do in certain circumstances. And in these circumstances, I wasn't in nobody's way. And if it was real busy, I would not have stayed there. No, I would have parked alongside somebody and waited up my 30 minutes and then take off. Daylight just a bit, but barely tell because of the fog. Dude, you're blocking the whole road here. Either move to the side or decide on what the hell you're going to do, Holmes. There we go. I don't mind. Jerry Boy does it. Jerry Boy TV, and then people start to show up. You know, the ones who give a rat's ass. Oh, rat's ass. Yeah, I'm not here because I need money and I need likes and I need people and need to. No, I'm just here because I just love to have a conversation. I don't give a shit about what. Because I am a very sociable man. Try to be. But I don't take that shit personally too much anymore because it doesn't affect me. And COVID is gone and it's over with. But the conversation that people still have, oh, it was fake and it was this, it was that, you know, we really don't know now, do we? All I know is it did impact the entire world, and if it was a conspiracy, it takes a lot of people to get involved in a conspiracy when you can't keep a secret between two people. And then it gets put down and then spread around, and the point gets lost, and people really are not going to argue over foolish ideas unless you were impacted directly or you witnessed that you're in the medical field. Like I got quite a bit of family members in the medical field. So who do you think I'm going to believe? My family members or somebody I don't know on the internet trying to tell me what's going on? Um, I'm going to believe my family members. That analysis is pretty easy. That's why anybody that worked at the Joliet Hospital in Illinois, which my sister and one of my nieces works at, excuse me. I think all those employees that worked throughout the whole damn thing, yeah, go up and ask them if it was real or not. On the road again. Ah, my camera's picking it up. Hey, you can see the glow of the daylight peeking. Yeah, I'm about 30 minutes to the Wisconsin border. Beer, brats, bikes, and broads. And you could probably add cheese to that, too. Mm-hmm. Now I can see a little bit better on the highway, especially through my camera. It doesn't pick up the fog. Well, a lot comfortable. I can turn the air conditioner off. Only 64 degrees. because the rest of the country's cooking. Has been for 2, 3 weeks, maybe more. Just makes you kind of wonder, huh? I wonder what kind of summer we're going to have next year. Or what kind of winter are we going to have this year? Is it going to be a short one? Because the winter season has been getting shorter and shorter. Because we traditionally didn't have people wearing t-shirts and shorts going in the tail end of September. You know, you were lucky to see highs of like maybe 50, 55 degrees in late September. And this is for, the majority of the United States. Not all, but for the majority of the United States. And it stayed cold until like middle of April. And in certain parts of the country, it stayed cold until June. But them days is long gone. But I'm telling you, if we have a hotter summer next year, I think the consensus would be is that global warming shit's real, isn't it? To the ones who hadn't seen what I saw. Going up to Yellowknife in the Arctic Circle and going out there to see plates, which didn't exist anymore because they were all melted. And the North Pole is an ocean of water, it's a pool. They used to have ice up there year round. That's not the case anymore. Like right now, there is no ice up there. It won't start freezing till like what I was told, late to early October. And the ice road season has gotten shorter too. It used to run for 3 months. Now it's about a week or two shorter now. And shit, at the rate, if it don't get the frozen ice like it needs, the season probably won't start until maybe Thanksgiving. It gives you all something to think about. Yeah, if you want to talk about if the global warming shit is real, talk to somebody from northern Canada. They'll tell you. Or talk to somebody from Russia that lives in the north. They'll tell you. Ugh. I'll just hang on here for a little while longer, just see what the hell happens. I'm not very entertaining on my own live streams. I'm only entertaining on others. Well, hell, man, I'm coming up on an hour already. Jesus. Really? Does anybody really go back and watch these videos after the live stream ends? I mean, I do. I go back and watch certain live streams that, of somebody else. When something funny happened or somebody said something funny, like go back and rewatch it and get a good laugh again. Ah, 7 hours and 39 minutes. If I make Albert Lee, dropping this load off and making to Albert Lee and get a washout and get parked, I'll be tickled pink. That'd be great. Uh, get down to Florida by Sunday night, deliver that load, and snag another one. Heads me back up north as long as I'm home by Thursday night next week. Thursday night next week. So I can be home for my son's first high school football game of his sophomore year. School hadn't started yet. School won't start till the tail end, ass end of August. Yeah, they'll end up playing two high school football games before the actual school season starts. The school year. First game's a home game. Second game's a road game. And I believe that road game is at Preble Shawnee this year. That's our number one rival. That's the only team that could really stand up to us. The rest of them, cakewalk. Yeah, Troy Christensen again, first game of the season. This time we're playing at our field because last season I did that live stream. It was from their field. It's right off the Interstate 75. The highway runs right by the damn football field. And we destroyed them on their own field. I told them, yeah, you all walked over them on their own home field, but they're a different team. That's why you cannot let up on your training. You can't let up at all. But we only lost 6 players due to graduation. And we lost 6 because they graduated, but we're gaining another 8. So we're +2 when it comes to that. We've got 8 freshmen coming up. At least that's what I was told. Ugh. Like 12. My son's junior year of high school. We'll have like 12 freshmen coming up after that. And I think we're going to lose like 8 seniors this year at the end of this football coming season. They're going to graduate. And half of those seniors got full ride scholarships to play football at universities. 2 of them are going to the same one, Seth Cook and Justin Finkbein. I think it was Findlay University in Northern Ohio. My son's best friend, Billy, he's going to play in West Virginia. Oh, hi, Killer Smile. I didn't know you came in here. If you're still here, I just been yakking away, talking to myself the entire time when nobody's in here. I just created this live stream because nobody else is doing one, and I'm looking for conversation, even if it's wrong. I think at the top of the chat is the link if you want to join in on the panel. Because I can't type and I really can't read the chat. I just glance over and look at names that show up. That's it. Oh, I'm always safe. I appreciate that. Um, when you scroll to the top of the chat, can you see the StreamYard link still? Because if not, I'll have to go back into the chat and drop it again if I need to. I know if few people show up, that if they would show up, they would come up. Uh, Well, at least you can see it now. It's not so dark anymore, but the fog is still thick. This is northern Illinois, right before I get into Wisconsin from Interstate 39. I'm headed to northern Wisconsin, up there by Minnesota, and I should be there in about 4.5 to 5 hours. It's dropping it. Oh, you're on your way to work? Oh, what do you do? You're riding a jeepney. I got to ride one of those once. It was kind of cool. What do you do? Or where do you work? I mean, if I don't believe I've met you before. You may have seen me on other live streams, but basically, when everybody sees me, this is what you're looking at. Most of the time, I'm working, driving, going from one place to another, delivering or picking up a load. I currently got some pharmaceuticals going to a Walmart distribution center here. Oh, you work the night shift, but I mean, well, oh, you're a caregiver. Oh, okay, I get it. Are you studying to become a nurse, an RN? I know a lot of folks that do that. They're caregivers as an actual job, but they are also dubbing going to school, becoming an RN. Yeah, that's something I could never do, um, especially when it would come to like pediatrics. I know you have to do your clinicals in an emergency room, but as many accidents that we have here in the states, you're seeing babies and children, get mangled in a car accident. That would do a number on me. I can't see children or babies like that. It probably would cause me to become a very bad alcoholic. And I do believe some in the medical field do because of that issue. Happen to see that all the time. It takes somebody very special to work in the medical field. I do. I must admit that. Uh, Taking a sip of my coffee. Yeah, I'll be passing through Rockford here real soon. Uh, but I guess that's one plus about having a job like mine is you can run a live stream. Well, I guess I lost my only guest. I appreciate her being here. She's at a jeepney, or she may have lost signal, depending on where she's at. But that's kind of cool. Coming up to the split here. US Highway 20 goes to the left, and you continue on the interstate by going right. Ugh. There's my exit. Actually, it's not an exit, it's an on ramp to stay on Interstate 39. Ugh. It's part of your culture, Smile. You really can't get around Manila or Makati or that area very, very quickly. So every time you go somewhere in the Philippines, it's always an adventure, which is kind of cool in my book. Unlike here in the States, I mean, for the most part, you can cover great distances at a short period of time. But that's because we have an interstate highway system when there's not road construction like I'm going through right now and heavy early morning traffic, which is about ready to start any moment now. Everybody's heading to work. Early morning rush hour traffic. See, they still call it rush hour because traditionally the traffic was only heavy for about the time period of an hour. Now it can last 3 to 4 hours. Right, depending on where you live. If you like live outside the city and you got to get into Chicago, you might want to allow yourself at least 2 hours or more, depending on what time you left. Like if you left at 4 in the morning and you gave yourself and you got to be there in 2 hours, you would make it to work on time very comfortably. If you only gave yourself an hour, you'd be lucky to make it. Yeah, I used to go to her live streams regularly. I kind of I'll stop in briefly. I'll stop in briefly and say hello. Usually to Darren and Sean Williams is there. I'll say hello. I'll just hang out for a minute and then I'll leave. And it's kind of sad she really doesn't invite anybody to karaoke anymore on Friday nights. But it's her channel. She can run it how she wants to. I just thought it was kind of fun. Invite people up. Hey, come up here and sing a couple of songs. It's kind of funny. Where am I from? I live in Ohio, along the border of Indiana and Ohio, but on the Ohio side. I'm originally born and raised in Chicago, which is about 50 miles east of me, of my location right now. If I got off that exit and took that highway, it would take me back towards Chicago. When it comes to accents per se, and when it comes to people who speak English, A lot of my foreign friends say the same thing. You speak very clear, articulate English. Well, that's true. Typically, if you are from the northern Illinois, parts of Ohio, parts of Indiana, what we call the Midwest, you speak very, very clear and crisp English with no slang and no accent. The accent we have is the absence of an accent, and traditionally, a lot of people in the country would notice. They can tell by the way we talk what part of the country we're from. Because you get down there and they say out, you get into slang and that twang. Well, yeah, this has been a long trip. I came from south of Philadelphia. Uh, I left there 2 days ago, I believe. Yeah, 2 days ago, right there by the coast there. Yeah, I know it a little bit. I stayed I think it was 4 days at the Peninsula Hotel because we had to leave because we were staying at the me and a friend of mine, Barry, went over to the Philippines back in 2015. We were there for about almost 4 weeks. Um, we were staying at the Manila Hotel, but at that time, Duterte, your president you had before the one you have now, just got elected president, and I guess I don't know if he was having a uh, a a, a celebration or he was meeting with some foreign dignitaries, but we had to vacate the Manila Hotel and we went to Makati and stayed at the Peninsula, which beautiful hotel. I liked it. The swimming pool was great. It's got a waterfall in it. But a lot of times I couldn't tell if I was in Makati or Manila because they're right on top of each other. But no, I liked both hotels. Even though the Manila Hotel is old, it's still a great hotel. It's beautiful. I think next time I go, I'd like to stay at a couple other different ones that I've heard so much about, like the Shangri La. I heard so much about that hotel. And when I remember walking into the peninsula, I felt like I was walking into a church. The lobby area is just like a cathedral church. And I found that photo of me and Barry standing together that his future wife took a photo of. Me and him were standing together there in the lobby area in the Peninsula Hotel. Yeah, if ever get a chance, I could, you know, maybe send it to Blessed Life and she could show everybody that photo. It's pretty cool. Typically, I'm not a very photogenic person. I don't take a bunch of selfies. Whenever somebody, hey, can I have your picture? I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't have a lot of photos of myself. That's why I could never understand the selfie thing. I have taken one. It's my avatar, and some people said you could be smiling at it. I'm like, to me, that is smiling. I was mostly concentrating on, am I doing this right? Okay, this is Rockford, Illinois here, because there's Mercy Hospital. Uh, but I've been all over North America. I've been all over South America. I've been all over Central America. You name it on this side of the planet, I've been there at least once, maybe briefly, but I've been there. And I've been to Japan. I've been to the Philippines, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia. I have not gone to Australia. I was trying to squeeze in a trip to Australia, but the Philippines kept me from doing that. Well, I noticed that. When we arrived there, we got off the plane and we took our luggage and everything and met with his wife and her niece. We went to the hotel and put our luggage in the motel and everything. And they were like, "You gonna sleep now?" I'm like, "No, let's go do something." So they took us to the Mall of Asia, and there was this karaoke event going on there at the Mall of Asia. And Barry goes, "Hey, mate, you're gonna put a song in?" He's British American. He's got dual citizenship. He goes, "You gonna put a song in?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I didn't realize there was 1,000 people in front of that stage. I'm like, "Oh, cool, man! I'm actually going to be singing in front of a crowd. The bigger the crowd, the better in my book." And that was the second time I karaokeed in the Philippines. First time was in 2013, but I only did one song in 2013 because after I karaokeed it, I got hit in the head with a ceiling fan, and I spent most of the time in the motel because my head was hurt. I wasn't feel good, but we did that at the Mall of Asia. I sang a song by Queensryche called "Silent Lucidity," and it was a little tough, but I managed to work around it. The looks on everybody's faces, their reaction with that song I was singing, they probably never heard it before. They're looking up at the screen behind me that's showing the lyrics of the song. I think they had to look like, they're trying to understand what the song's about. After the first verse, they started to get into the song. It was like pretty cool. And they really enjoyed it by the end of the song. What it is they got the monitor on wheels on this stand with wheels, and everybody was reading off of it. Me, I pushed the monitor out of the way so I could see the crowd because I know these songs by heart because I played in bands since high school, and they loved it. They really loved the song, and the host of that karaoke event, I don't know what the karaoke event was. I was just doing it for fun. She came up. She was a little bit teary eyed. She was one of the hosts of that morning TV show. I'm gonna mess this up. Maleka Dembuhay. It's a morning TV show. They got like two or three female hosts. They sit on a couch and they interview people. It was the smaller lady. I can't remember her name, but she came up there and started talking to Mike. Oh, that wonderful. He goes, "You got to sing us another one." And they all cheered again. I'm like, "Okay." So I did another one immediately. It was uh, "The Deeper the Love" by Whitesnake. That one, it seemed like a lot of the crowd knew it, but a lot of the younger ones didn't. Because that second song, a lot of the ladies were dancing along to it because I guess they've heard it, knew the song, and they loved that one too. And what I didn't realize is I didn't realize I was being filmed by about anywhere between 500 to 800 cell phones. That I didn't know, and there were people up on the railing too. It was like a balcony, but they were on the second floor of the mall area, and they were taking you know their cell phones and recording it from up there. There was a lot of times I couldn't go hardly anywhere without being recognized. I think the people who recorded that video were sending it to their friends. They were sending it to their friends, and I had these folks coming up to me. Goes, "Is this you?" For a guy like me, you see me, I'm instantly noticed. They didn't have to ask the question. Yeah, that's me. And I did not realize that at the time that you guys record, take pictures with a cell phone on mats like that. And I wish I had knew somebody that had the video of it, and they could send it to me. I'd share it with everybody. But I didn't think of that. But that was the highlight of my two trips to the Philippines was karaokeing at the Mall of Asia like that. in front of a crowd. Oh, I had a ball. I would have kept going if they wanted me to, but I didn't want to hog the stage. And the woman, I don't remember her name from that morning TV show, she wanted to interview me. She wanted to bring me into the show, and she goes, "Well, we're done filming now. We're not having another show until this date." And I said, I can't do it. We're going to be in Coron. She goes, "Well, when are you coming back?" "We're coming back. And we're going to stay a day or two, and then we're going to fly back to the States." So I couldn't attend the show like she wanted me to. I think what it was is they wanted to interview me, and then they were going to have me sing live on the show, which would have been, hey, that's cool. I'd have done it. Yeah, I had a good time. But things like that usually with for me, it's all by accident. None of it is ever done on purpose. Just like the first time I was there when I got hit in the head with a ceiling fan, that was an accident. In a way, I should have been paying more attention to where I was walking. I think I'm alone again. Oh man, everybody left again. Oh, I was buffering. Oh, jeez, that sucks. Well, if anybody's still here and I'm not buffering, the thing is when you go to another country, if I do in the future, I'm very sociable. I'm like, and I want to go out. I don't want to stay in. I want to go out, talk to people. There's no telling who you're going to meet, what kind of conversation you're going to have. Um, I usually got the same thing, like, "You're an American?" I'm like, "Yes." And usually, sometimes I hang my head in shame because I hear of some of the behavior of some of the Americans. They're like, you're not arrogant." I'm like, "I appreciate that. I would like to think I'm not." I said I never really made a self analysis, but I'm glad that at least everybody thinks favorably of me. Oh shoot, I'm sorry about that. Smile. Yeah, I can only glance over at the chat and see it move, see names. That's about it. I really can't read. I can get one word and look back over for a second and get another word. Yeah, I'm coming up to the border into Wisconsin now. I didn't think of that. The area I'm in, the signal might not be as good. It says I have 5G still, but that could be misleading too. But I don't know if you heard me, but did I say that morning TV show in the Philippines correctly? Malagadang Buhay. Did I say that right, or I'm not saying it right? Oh, I appreciate that. Have you heard me sing before? I know Blessed Life has a lot of people that come to her live streams when I karaoke there. Sometimes depending on how the equipment's working, you know, I I sound like Alf. There's no telling what I would sound like. It just all depends on the equipment. They're like, just let me have the. I wish I could use my old band equipment. You know, just add a little echo and no distortion. Yes, that was the TV show. Maybe if I see a picture, or I could tell you who the lady was. She was the smaller of the three. I think there were two or three ladies on that show. Yeah, I would always watch that. I don't know why, but I'd wake up in the morning, I'd turn the TV on, I'd watch that show, and I found it very interesting because they would speak what I learned was called Taglish. They would maybe start their sentence in Tagalog and end it in English. Say the next sentence in English and then switch back to Tagalog. It's like they were switching back and forth, and I'm like, I like this because that helps me try to understand and learn the language maybe a little bit. That's why I was watching every day. And after that show, I think as the next show would be called Jeepney, I believe it was. And then they had this other show where there was it was a game show, but it was like a competition, and these people didn't know what they were going to be doing. Whatever skill that like you got to take this straw and blow these balloons up in the air, and then move them to the other side and into the bucket. That was like one of the games, but every game was different. But I'd watch the Filipino TV just, hey, this is pretty cool. Yeah, my fear is I sing a lot of Typo Negative and 69 Eyes music because they say I sound just like them, but I didn't think that the Asian ladies would catch on to that type of music. Yes, it's I consider that we consider it rock and roll, but some people consider it, you know, heavy metal. I don't see it that heavy. I mean, I can have you listen to some heavy metal that I wouldn't listen to because you can't understand what the hell they're talking about. But like Typo Negative, 69 Eyes, I was kind of wishing that the Asian ladies would catch on to that. And go, ooh, this is good music. That's what I was hoping, but um, I, I, really would like to know the reaction. I'd like to. I don't get to see anybody's reaction unless they're on the panel. I wasn't sure if you've heard me. I think if you look at my last video, I uploaded it last night or maybe 2 days ago. I did two songs from 69 Eyes. I had never done them before. Yeah, I know we suck, but at least we make money. That was a CB radio. A lot of guys talking. I usually lay the facts out on them because a lot of drivers talk trash on the CB radio, and I only got it because usually it's for good safety reasons. Sometimes you do run into a good conversation, but you have people talk trash all the time, and it's like, really. And I'm not going to sit there and waste my time because, like I said, at least we make money. It was better than the yellow drivers. 30,000 of them lost their job last week. That's sad. Um, again, I don't know if that yeah is an agreement. Yes, you've heard me sing before on Bliss Life live stream or no? Because there's no telling who has heard me. A lot of them probably think, what's the song about? This guy sounds kind of weird. I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm in Wisconsin now, and my signal's going to go. It's going to go south. Yeah, I'm down to 4G. If you can hear me and I'm not loading, have you heard me sing before? Karaoke on Bless Life live stream? Because I'm guessing that's. I don't know how to do that from the phone, where I share the screen and play it for you. Um, but if you do, it's the last video I did, and I titled it "69 Eyes," two new songs, I guess it is. It's only two songs. It's an 8 minute video. It's two songs I did by that group, and yeah, just go and listen to it. You can Google it and follow along with the lyrics if you want to understand the song a little bit better. The first song was called "Dance Demure." Yeah, there's French in that song. I don't know what I was saying, but I know I was singing it correctly. That's what's funny. I haven't took the time to look up on translator what it meant. I know what "mon chéri" means, but the rest of it I didn't. And the other one is called "Gothic Girl." It's nice talking to you too. Don't be afraid to drop a like and a comment on the video. I really like to know, even if it's bad. I take criticism very well. I try to learn from my critics too. I'm going to get off here, and you guys have a good day. I just was here trying to find conversation of some sort, but you all have a good one. I'm getting off here. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.